welcome to the StandPoint. This is the month of love, Love. Somebody says, love is a feeling you feel when you feel you're feeling something that you've never felt before. Quite a long one. But really, what's love all about? We start today. Today we are talking about intimacy in marriage. Intimacy in, somebody calls it what? Shenanigans in psychology. Okay, so please, if you're not 18 or if you have a kid around, please let them go and watch some cartoons or something, because this is serious adult talk and we must talk about it. My name is Gifty Auntie. Welcome to the StandPoint. Let me say thank you to Chic Collection for my dress. Yes, this dress is by Chic Collection. I'm so grateful to them. Thank you very much. My beads by Eguzi. And in Fanti, when you say Eguzi, you understand. If you don't understand Fanti, let somebody teach you Eguzi. Yes, so it's by Eguzi. Thank you to Extra 5 for my hair, and of course Power Cosmetics provides us with a makeup product applied by Makeup and More. We take a break. When we come back, intimacy in marriage. We'll be back. Hello again and welcome back to the StandPoint. Today we are talking about intimacy in marriage. Yes, it's going to be about sex in marriage. So please, if you have a young one around under 18 years, please let them go out. In another way, it could also help you start the sex talk with your child, even as you watch together and you let them understand this is for married people, but then it can start the sex talk with your child. You know, we've had a program on Let's Talk About Sex Mom, Let's Talk About Sex Dad. So, well, it's all up to you, but it's going to be about intimacy in marriage. Let me say thank you to GTP for my clothes. Thank you so much for supporting us all these years. The StandPoint is sponsored by Walmart Africa. They produce Vital cooking oil, and they also import into this country Fortune rice. And Fortune rice comes in 3 types. That's the first one being the green package one, very good for omutuo, rice water, and all the sort of dishes. And then the orange package one, good for wache. Wine package one, excellent for jollof rice. And jollof rice, fried rice, and all the Inchichewe rices. African Women's Development Fund, AWDF, they support African women's rights organizations across Africa for over 15 years now, going on 17 years. So we are so grateful to them. Now, intimacy in marriage. And on my panel, I have 3 soul sisters. To my extreme left, I have Mrs. Anita Asino, who is an entrepreneur, and she has a shop, an intimacy shop as well. I'm sure she'll talk about it. Good to have you on the StandPoint.
Thank you. Hello.
Next to Anita, I have Mrs. Linda Mante. She's also an entrepreneur and a marriage counselor extraordinaire. I added that one. Welcome to the StandPoint.
Thank you.
Next to Linda is Madam Proper, Chief, intimacy lecturer. She is Mrs. Victoria Konolabi, educationist, mediator, and a counselor. Welcome to the StandPoint. All 3 of you, this is your first time on the StandPoint. And I must add that they all belong to a group that is making waves in the country gradually, a group of women who have come together to make sure that they champion the cause of women and children. We call ourselves Willie International. That's Women in Leadership International. Welcome to the StandPoint.
Thank you.
But let me start with you, Linda. How important is sex in marriage? How long have you been married anyway?
I have been married for 15 years now.
15 years.
Yeah,
She
I look
looks like
young,
she's
but
been married for 2 years.
And my husband is here.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Paul Mante.
Mr. Mante, good for you.
Well, when we talk about intimacy in marriage, it doesn't only have to do with sex. A lot of things come into play. When we say intimacy is anything or all the things that makes someone or a couple want to get close to each other. The things that bring us close, the things that drives us along each other, the things that makes you, you are at work, you have a feeling of getting home early, getting to meet him, do this and that. That is what we call intimacy. It's not all about sex. But sex plays a pivotal role when it comes to marriage. Marriage without sex is no marriage. And it may interest you to know that I was reading around it and I realized that there was a survey that shows that most married women who are above 35 in a year have an average of 60 times sex, which is way little too small. That is like to say twice in a month. That is what is killing most marriages. Sex is food. And when you take food and water out, the third most important thing to us as human beings is sex. And that tells you how important it is. Don't forget, there is a command in the Bible, Ecclesiastes 9 verse 9. It says that enjoy life with the wife whom you love all the days of your life on this meaningful, under this meaningful, meaningless world. Enjoy life. Who do you enjoy life with? Some of us, we enjoy lives with our colleagues at work, with our family members, with our friends, but not with our husbands or our wives. That is wrong. You need to enjoy life. You need to do the things that he loves most. You need to speak to him or her in a way that attracts her, that turns her on, that puts her in the mood. But what happens?
Victoria? You should see Linda's face, innocent and talking about,
Say what happens and what really happens.
What really happens? Do you agree with her? Is sex that important in marriage?
It's very important. And one day a student wrote a letter to a friend. He said that love is like tea without sugar. We said marriage without life or without love in it is like tea without sugar. And love is something that is described as positive inner feeling. Feeling that is positive, that is inner. It is within you, it is not without. Within is you, it is within you. Intimacy is something that goes beyond bounds. Marriage that goes beyond bounds. You are close to each other. You feel for each other. Wherever you find yourselves, far apart, your spirits are together. And that brings the intimacy. Wherever you get to, you call your husband, where are you? I'm here.
What do you think you are checking? You are checkmating, you are checking on him too much.
Not checking on you. I have to check on you just because of the love I have for you, the intimacy. I have to check on you every passing minute. When you part out from the house, get to the workplace. Around 11, I'll call him. Housework. He'll tell me, oh, everything is okay. Around 2 p.m., I'll just check him again, say that, have you eaten? Have you taken your lunch? Yes, I've taken. What about you? I've also taken. What did you eat? I ate this, I took that. And around 3 p.m., when are you leaving office? I'm on my way to the house. Or today I'll keep a bit longer. When are you leaving the office? I'll leave around 5:30 p.m. So what time should I expect you? okay, latest by an hour, I should be in the house. And it's not like I'm checking on him. Just because there's somebody in there who is taking my position. No, nobody can take my position. Child. Even if you want to take my position, you don't have the nerve. You don't have the audacity. I've married for 31 years. Wow. You don't have the nerve to take it from me. There's no place you see my husband without me. And even at the office,
did it just happen, or it's something that you had to work on?
You have to work at it. Love, you have to work at your love. It's not like, you know, some women, when they marry, before they get married, because they're looking for someone to, they'll pretend they are angels. Because they want to get married. They'll get attached to the man. They'll try to win the heart of the man. And what happens if the man takes them to the altar? It turns the other way around. There you see the actual character in them. They stop dressing properly. And when you tell them, Maggie, why have you put on this kind of dress? You know, I'm in the house and I can put on anything.
No, I'm a married woman.
I'm a married woman, and look at my ring. Nobody can take you from me. Please, somebody can take him from you. Yes, if you don't work at it, somebody will take him from you. And you don't prepare food. When it's time to prepare something for your husband, you feel reluctant to do that because you want him to go out. Okay, let's go and take something outside. Your husband wants you to prepare something for him. Not that lady there who has been contracted to prepare food at the restaurant to sell. He wants you. That's why he married you. He needs your food. He needs the food, the top one and the down one. He needs everything of yours. Yes, he needs everything. And when you are to give him the sexual feeling too, it should be excellent.
Let me come to Anita. I'll come back. Should it be about satisfying sex in marriage? And I believe you are not, so you believe that sex in marriage is important. Should it be about satisfying the man, or it's about both of you enjoying? Is the sex in marriage more beneficial to the man or to the woman?
Okay, I mean, I think there's different types of intimacy, like Linda mentioned, but I think today we're talking about sex, the longement. I say part of the what? Longement. Say after me, longement. Longement. You know, and it's very important. In fact, to me, I feel sex is what glues the relationship together, the marriage together. So if the glue is not working or sticking or being used, it causes a lot of problems. I think we've touched on. Sex is important in a marriage, and the satisfaction is not about just about the man or just about the woman. It's a mutual exchange. But I think in our culture, the historics of it is that the woman is supposed to be pleasing the man. And I think there's a saying in the UK, lie back and think of England. You know, there's no, you're just supposed to, you know, just lie there or just be available. But I don't think that's how it should be. It should be two of you. And I think if we're talking about sex, I think sometimes what happens is that I feel in our environment there's a mindset. At the courting stage, we are having fun. We are in lust, and then we fall and we're like, we want to be together. Then when we marry, I think some women and men think they have to go into some kind of role, and then the first thing that usually starts to dwindle is the sex.
Yeah, isn't it because of our society where, you know, sex is a taboo topic? You know, you'll be amazed that some people sitting there, the fact that I said we're going to talk about sex, like, hey, and on TV, why should they talk? Immediately they recoil and, get into the condemning, mood.
Let me tell you that, I am running a lingerie retail. That's my fun side of my entrepreneurship. And I am telling you that Ghanaians, I'm sorry, we just lie. It's fake. You understand? On the outside, we portray this holier than thou image, but there are things going on, Gifty.
Serious things. Oh, there are things. People are buying stuff.
Let me give you an example. Yeah. I decided to pilot edible lingerie. That's bras and panties, pouches that you can eat, underwear. Yeah, to have as part of spicing it up, having fun. And I remember my sister saying to me, "You're not going to sell one in Ghana. The way it's a taboo." Gifty, it's become one of my best sellers in the shop. Edible lingerie, chocolate, favorite. Before even, but that's what I was telling you. Before even Valentine's, people are ordering it.
Right.
When I also decided, okay, well, it's all about having a bit of fun. The idea is that find your level, because every couple is different. Yeah. What may work for Linda and her husband may not necessarily work for you and your husband. So you have to find your level, because there are levels. You know, even within the marriage, you may even find different levels in terms of drive. Mm-hmm. So when you find your level, edible may not be for you, but maybe handcuffs are. That was another one. She said, she's like, nobody's outside. We'll see. People come in the shop and they come in there because they want to have fun, you know. But I think our culture says we should be conservative, so we all play this conservative thing, but actually behind closed doors things are happening. And I'm saying it, and you all know it. You can keep lying, but it's true. Things are happening, you know. And generally too, there are people who want to rekindle.
Yeah.
You know, they want to bring the fire back into their marriages, you know. And I think if you want to do that, it's not tomorrow you start. And you start small. It's not just because tomorrow, you know, you decided to do A and B, that means everything, you know, it takes time, but you have to find your level. But things are happening, and there are things to do to spice it up, to have a lot of enjoyment.
And this is the month of love, and we've started the Valentine move. And you know, the Valentine shouldn't be now. Anyway, we'll be back. Let me do. My director is killing me with time out. Okay, let me take a break and come back. Let me say thank you to our supporters. House of Foods, Auntie Vera, I'm still waiting for my birthday present. You didn't give me anything on my birthday. I'm saying it on live television. Last week was my birthday, 24th of 23rd of January. Hey, what happened on 24th? Nothing happened on 24th. 23rd January. And I turned 48 years old. And I also say thank you to Go-Got Yogurt. As women, yogurt is very good for you. I'm sure the sex experts here will talk about it. So that yogurt is good for you. I said, hey, you're a sex expert. And then also thank you to Awake Mineral Water, Awake Purified Mineral Water by Casapreco Company Limited. They are the first company to actually decide to contribute a percentage of every bottle you buy to charity. That's the National Cardiothoracic Center to help underprivileged children. And also Royal Drinks, Royal Apple and Royal Orange by Casapreco Company Limited. Thank you to Yacht Cleaning Services. Matames, they give us the support, and we're so grateful to everybody who supports us. We take a break. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion. Welcome back to the StandPoint. Things are happening, yeah? It's about time we get real. Well, let me say thank you once again to GTP for my cloth and then chic collections. Sold my dress for me. My beads by A Goodsy Ghana and hair by Extra 5. Watama, thank you very much. And then we also like to say thank you to Paba Cosmetics for giving us the makeup product and applied by Makeup and More. The StandPoint is sponsored by Walmart Africa. They produce fried or cooking oil, and they also bring into this country and sell Fortune rice, which comes in 3 types. The orange package one, very good for wache. Green package one, excellent for the soft dishes. That's amutuo and rice water. And then orange package one, I mean, best for jollof rice and fried rice. African Women's Development Fund, AWDF, also support us. I'm trying to get all the sponsors out of the way so I can talk more. Back to the panel. Linda, so things are happening while we, pretending that we don't know. But it's also a fact that in certain homes, especially the women, are very conservative. Because of I think to a large extent, I may be wrong, to a large extent, it's how we're social, how we're raised up. So everything we do is about concentrating on satisfying the man in bed.
Most of us pretend a lot, and sometimes from the environment and the socialization that we have, we think sex is dirty. But don't forget that the Bible says that don't call anything impure that the Lord has made pure. God created the vagina, the penis. It was created by God.
Yeah.
He designed it, and they use it somewhere and say it is impure. He made sex so beautiful. So there is no way to be shameful about anything that has to do with sex. But unfortunately, that is what happens. And then I have this favorite thing that I say. You realize that in the home, because there are always disagreements, you see the husband lying with the back facing the woman's back. That is what is called Tunisia. Tunisia. A Tunia Tuasia. So in most homes, that is what goes on. The picture is a Tunisia picture. But you have to move from Tunisia to Cambodia.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Cambodia is calm body. You know, the body, your body comes and mine comes.
And we both.
So we both. That is Cambodia. You need to move your marriage from Tunisia to Cambodia if you want to enjoy it. You see, because you are going to be married for the next, let's say if God gives you long life, for the next like 25 years, 30 years, 50 years. So if it is a Tunisia movement, then you're going to have this all your life, and you are not going to have any enjoyment in your marriage. So I would say that let's get to the Cambodia arena of sex. That is what is going to be.
What if that's how they like to sleep? They like to sleep facing the wall.
After Cambodia.
After Cambodia.
Well, if you are really going to do the Cambodia,
And then you do Tunisia.
it is fine.
Yeah. Then after Cambodia, can do Tunisia.
You see, but the thing is that during sex, the hormones that are released, it gets you so relaxed. So I think that the position that you round things, you know, when it gets you so relaxed that it puts you to sleep. So let's say if it's a behind position. Yeah. So in this case, it's not. It can't be a Tunisia.
Because the way you ended, that's
how you sleep. That's how you sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sex, Gifty, or Henry,
Yes.
is good.
Yes, my sister.
It's good. It's sweet. The benefits that you get out of it. I always tell people when they come to church, I use a lot of church examples because I do a lot of speaking in church. When they come to church, they do all sorts of things, dance styles. There is this song, and they sing and turn 360, but 1 degrees. But once they get home, then the headache starts coming. And I ask myself why. Because sometimes they don't even know how to do it. Or the stories that they have heard about sex. Sometimes people are told that, if the penis is small, it doesn't excite. But I'm here to tell you today that from research, the size of the penis is not the issue. It is what you do with what you have.
And how you use it.
And how you use it. You see, because the woman's cervix, 3.5 inches from, as it goes in there, It is within 3.5 inches that all the nerves that brings pleasure are found. And when there is an erection, even the smallest one can go 4.5.
So it goes beyond.
It goes beyond.
So no one has an excuse.
No, you don't have an excuse. It's the mindset. It is the mindset. You listen to them and then you go in already tired. But if you go in and you have it in mind that I'm going to enjoy it, I'm going to feel it. Because if you have headaches, the best painkillers, yes, and those who are into it will tell you that there are hormones that are released that makes you, they act as natural painkillers.
Auntie Vicky. So 31 years, aren't you tired?
Never tired.
Hey.
Because I'm a strong woman and my husband is a strong man.
Yes.
So until the bones are rotten.
You're still on. Ayalolo.
Ayalolo. Yankonkwa. Until the bones are rotten. Until our lives are taken from us. That we have no excuse. But as we are living, life goes on. And sex goes on.
I mean, I just like the look on her face, you know,
Yes.
that smile, that smile, you know. But you know, it's the same. You do the same thing over and over. You get bored sometimes.
No, there's no boredom in this. Sex doesn't have any boredomness. It depends on how you do it. Yes, at times you have to vary your styles. Yes, the styles must be varied. You do this today, tomorrow you change it. And the body posture also talks about whatever you do.
Yeah.
And the body language says so. You know, if you want to do it, it's not all the time that the man has to initiate it. And in Africa or even in our traditional setup, when a woman proposes, we say it as satanic. Hey, about the one says you, instead of the man to propose, to have an affair, you, the woman, you go and you propose. And it's something abominable. It's an abomination. So even because we don't want the woman to come out to say that we want it and we feel like having it.
So what say? You know, I mean,
when you propose, what say? And when somebody hears it, I say that you don't even wait for your husband to propose. You always go in to propose. You, the woman, you also need it. So as and when you need it, propose to your husband. It will be given to you. Your man is ready. He's ready, always ready.
But some men too, they're never ready.
Then shake them. If they're not ready, shake them. Tell them
there's some men who are not good. You know, some men don't know how to satisfy a woman.
No, you see,
honestly,
they need to be shaken.
Disagree.
Really?
I disagree totally. Every
man knows how to satisfy.
Even if it's on the other side, because it's not the man who cannot satisfy the woman. There are some women who also don't satisfy the men. That's the point I was making again, that you have to find your level. You know, there's this thing that, you know, as women, and probably even maybe men also do it to a certain degree, we automatically are assigning to our partners that they should know what to do because of the movies we are seeing or the things we are reading.
Right.
Okay? If, for example, your sensitive part is your breast or your bum or whatever it is, and you don't tell me, you know, you don't tell me, and telling me doesn't mean say you sit me down and say, okay, you know, let's talk about sex. But there are ways in which you can tell me, you could during intimacy you can move my hands there, or you can say in fun conversation, you know, when you touch here, you can tell me. So then I'll know that, oh, okay, this is what you like. If you think the man or the woman is not doing it for you, you have to coach them into what you like. But it's unfair for you to just sit back and be saying the person is not performing when they don't actually, even if they were performing, would they really know what it is that is like that you like? So I don't agree. I don't think there is such thing as somebody is bad in bed. I think it all depends on the people involved. If you one of the things I want to say on a serious note is that you notice that if we're angry with our husbands, or you know, we can go to church, go to a party, do everything But likely, most of the time, probably sex will not happen in some couples. But when they're angry, they can do everything else but that. That is because of that was what I was saying, the deepness of the intimacy. There is another side to sex. It's not just the physical. There is an emotional side, a vulnerable side. You know, the side that just says, you know, I'm vulnerable to you. You know, that whole euphoria is there.
Yeah, I open myself up to you.
We are, you know, so that's when we're angry, you know, or that when it's not happening, people become resentful because you're depriving me of that emotion, of that feeling. So I think it's important for me. I feel communication is very key in a relationship, but I think without friendship you're doomed, because it's the friendship that allows us to work it out. So the example Linda gave of someone from the church, I have it all the time. People come in my shop and they will say, my partner, so maybe you're willing, but your husband or your wife isn't that way inclined. So I always say, we've got to also be careful when we go and we want to try new things. You need to remember there must have been a moment, because you're married, there must have been a moment in your courting that you knew you were doing things, the things that made him or her happy. Right. So you have to start from that point. So I'm saying you cannot just, because we're saying spices up tomorrow, right now, you're going to go and buy edible panties and then you're going to, no, because that's not, are you getting me? Yeah. It may have been, he just enjoyed it when you went for dinner, or when you went and sat, whatever it is, you need to start from that point. And then we work our way, we begin to talk. Because if you've not had sex a long time, or if sex is not really regular, or it's a problem in a relationship, you cannot just revive it. We have to work, and even that, I call it foreplay. We have to foreplay our way back into being intimate. It's very, very important, you know, because otherwise, I'm saying, because I don't want some of your viewers to go and try and then they get rejection, and then it's like, oh, I tried. No, we're saying we should spice this up and it's important, but there is a process. You know, one lady that I knew, that thing I kind of, I told her, just start at a point. The point you knew your husband, even if it's miserable today, there was a point you were happy. There was a point something was happening. Start from that point and begin to work your way. And it took her about nearly 1.5 years to get to where they felt they have a level. So it's not an overnight thing, because it's emotions are involved. Are you getting me? Because if you've not been minding me, and then tomorrow you come and suddenly you're taking my coat off, or you expect me, it's also something. So I think you need to move gradually and know your partner. Like I said, what will work for one person may not be. You know, and the fun part will be trying to find where your foreplay is, like where is the fun? Are you getting me? It's very, very important. Otherwise,
But isn't it also a fact? You know how they say the human type. Some are choleric. Some are this. Some are this. And the same way, the people who are naturally conservative, they don't know how to let themselves go. You know, it's not like they've just decided not to do it, but they just don't know how to let themselves go. That's how they are. Not that they are not enjoying it, but they don't know how to express it.
I think we also have to deal in realities, in the sense that you're absolutely right. It's not every person or every couple, whether man or woman, that necessarily are are going to be very much for sex. Especially, and I say this to women, but a lot of the time it does sit in that, and then some are even medical issues. So I think whatever it is, you know, I think Linda made a point at the beginning about the number of times the research found people were having sex. Generally, that tends to be, you know, that the average is that most marriage couples maybe 2 or 3 times in a week. You know, but I think that if you're in a relationship where you know that maybe whether it's your wife or your husband, they're not really into the sex, or like the sex is not happening, but it does happen, then I say, when it does happen, you've got to make it as good as it can be, because you know that it's not probably as regular, or it's not as, you know, the way you would want, because of whatever the issue may be, whether it's medical or even just the personality of the person, you know. So it's important, because I think when you understand these things, there's also a connection. You know, there's a connection in sex. That's why sometimes, you know, when people are reflecting back, they may reflect fondly of somebody in the past because they had a very strong connection. Are you getting me? So even you realize that maybe some couples who are very, very happy, but they may only just have sex once a month. But when they do, you understand? You get what I'm saying? So we are not all in boxes. We're saying that it's very important. That one, dear, it is important whether you want to accept it or not because you're doing it or you're not doing it. It's important. You have to find your level. Because a lot of marriages are having issues because, you know, if we bring it back to the men, even though we always say about us women too, but the reality is men are, you know, physical beings. They are visual beings. So I always say if you're depriving the man, you know, just the same way it can go for the woman, you're creating a situation. Because technically speaking, when we're married, it's our legal right to do whatever we like. It's legal.
Explore our bodies
if I can't have intimacy with you, where do you expect me to go? And I think we have to begin to ask this question: where do you expect me to go? And you may be fine for years. But that person, and it's unfair because you're in a union. So you've decided, I'm not going to do this, and you're expecting me to just go along with it. That's unfair. You see, so what you will find is, whether a man or woman, they're going to find alternatives, and that's why we're ending up with a lot of infidelity in our environment. And then there are also those people who are just not satisfied. You know, there are people who are just, no matter what you do, they're going to be in.
That's what I was going to ask you, that there's some people, you can give them 24-hour sex, they will still go out.
They are the people we call the sex addicts. You know, and that one, unfortunately, if you have, there are ways of dealing with it, but it's just unfortunate that, you know, it's not unfortunate, but it's just, that's the way that person is. So, you know, you have to find out the help with the coaching things that will help you to be able to cope with such things. But generally, in a normal sense of the word, it is unhealthy to be in a marriage and not be having sexual intimacy.
It is unhealthy to be in a marriage and not to have sexual intimacy. Is somebody listening? Is Gifty Auntie listening? You're watching the StandPoint. Again, I say thank you to Go-Got Yogurt. Today we don't have Veraldo. We have the Royal Apple drink and Royal Orange drink by Casapreco Company Limited, and Awake Purified Mineral Water also by Casapreco Company Limited. House of Foods, and make sure that my crew are fed and they have the energy to work for me, and when they go home they don't go and tell their wives that they are tired. It's not only the women who say they are tired, the men also sometimes say they are tired. They just turn away and they snore away as if nothing. Don't blame the women alone. You know, you ladies, you know I'm for you. But Charlie, let's up our game. We'll take a break, we'll be back. So welcome back to the StandPoint, and we are talking about intimacy in marriage. And I see some beautiful ladies here wearing straight out Gehe, Wesley Girls High School ladies here in the studio. And let me find out what brings you to GDA Studios today.
Thank you very much, Auntie Gifty. We came to enjoy the show, and that's exactly what we've been doing. This is the 1997 year group of Wesley Girls High School. We are 20 years out of school, so yeah.
Yay!
Some applause for us. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary, and with the tradition with the school, every 20 years we go back to give back to the school based on what we've also experienced from other year groups who've given up something for us and helped us to come this far. Our year group, in all our workings, we went back and forth, decided that we are going to put up a visual arts center.
Right.
And initially when we started, we thought, oh, this is a nice, simple thing. Buy a few equipments, buy a few machines, and put it in there. But over and above the resources, we realized there was a need for us to begin to change the rhetoric about visual arts. And that's because some of the subjects have been considered as subjects for the less brainy. Especially in the A-class schools, it's not the in thing. It's not cool to be doing certain subjects. If you're not doing science, you're not doing a maths, you're not doing French or some of the other subjects, it's like you couldn't do it well, and that's why you're here. But what we realize is that visual arts actually does empower you. It helps you build the skills that perhaps you already have, and you begin to work on those skills, and you become your own employer soon after school.
Right.
Actually, if you're good enough, you can begin to make dresses for your mates, you could make beadwork, you could do anything with it. So we believe that instead of letting people feel less off because of visual arts, let's encourage them. Let's let them feel it's okay. You've been blessed with a skill from God. Now you take that skill and work with it. And God will definitely bless it and make you feel as good as anybody doing science or medicine or any other course. And so that's really a course we are on. It's something we're championing, not only on the 9th of February when we have our official sword cutting, which is also the 181st speech day of the school. But after that, we intend to go into a mentorship program where we begin to connect these young ladies with other people who have succeeded. You gave your credits, and from head to toe, almost toe, is one
I'm still
person.
looking for a shoe sponsor.
Is almost
Then I'll be complete.
One person or the other, but everybody who took part in putting you together is working in the arts. And we must begin to embrace it and encourage women. And let me add that I've been in corporate world, and so I know the difficulties and the bottlenecks it puts in your way. But when you're a woman starting a family and you can begin to do stuff on your own, it gives you the ability to focus on your family.
Exactly.
At the time when it matters most, it gives you more control. So don't shy away from it. Embrace it, go in all out, and become who God made you to be. So that's what we're all about.
Well done, well done. And on the 10th, I'll be there. I'll join you on the 10th.
You must be there. Thank you for your support.
Come and support you.
Thank you
as
so
well.
much.
Well done. You ladies are amazing. Pressure girls, that's how I call you. Yeah. Pressure, you want it done and you want it done now. Well done. But what do you make of what we are discussing today?
It has been an interesting discussion, and I think that everything that has been said is on point. What I could add to the conversation was about respect and the mutuality of it. And there was a question from the audience about the focus almost being on women. But if we go back to the good book, which we all take our instructions from, it's quite clear. Bible says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. So men have a role. Then it says, women, submit to your husbands as unto Christ. It did not say we ought to wait for the men to play their role before we step in to play our role, or that when he fails, stop short. It's a commandment, it's a direction from the Lord. And I think God is quite smart. He must have known why he gave each of us our separate responsibilities. So we go all out and we do it as unto Christ. And I think that the end is the family that we are in that will benefit. So we don't always have to look at what we are not getting, but just do it. You've been instructed to do it. And I think it's important for us. We're just sharing a joke that the school we come from, sometimes we have a tag that, they're not submissive, they're not good wives and everything. But I think it's a wrong tag. I think what matters is that we all appreciate that we have a role to play, and we go all out and we play that role to perfection.
Thank you very much. And I think going back to what they were talking about, being the visual art, and I think visual art or talks about or breaks out the creativity in a person. So how creative should you be in the bedroom as a married woman?
As a married woman, you have to be creative. You shouldn't do something the same way you did yesterday. Today is the same and tomorrow is the same. There's more room for improvements even in the classroom. No matter how best you perform in the examination, your teacher will tell you there's still more room for improvement. That's why in our married lives, we still have to improve upon our marriage every day. Whatever we do, you have to improve upon it. The way we talk to our husbands, our communication level, the respect should be there. As I said, it is reciprocal. Right. Once you respect your husband, automatically he will respect you. And whatever you do for him, don't take it that you are doing for him alone. The whole world is looking at you, and even in the public, how you talk to him. People will be there looking at you, but you will not be aware. So you have to change your attitude. Even in the bedroom, it shouldn't be the same style. The sex life shouldn't be the same style. Today you do the same thing, the same position. If you do it today and it doesn't go well, or you didn't enjoy it much, change the style a bit. tomorrow, and your man will enjoy it. And it's not you alone. The man too, you have to talk to him. If you're not doing well, please change your style. I also need a good style. As I'm giving you something good, I need something better from you. If your better is not the best, then go beyond that. I need the best from you. I'm giving you the better, give me the best. If I give you good, give me better. If I give you better, give me best. And we move on. Every sex life must be looked at. Change your styles, change your attitudes, change your positions, and change the roles. Once you have to roll, at times you have to lie, you have to turn, and you know the positions. You know it. And please, don't let your children be the center of your happiness. Your children, they will grow one day and leave you. So if you make the children that's at the center of your happiness, of your conversation, please change it. One day they will grow and go, and it will be left for you alone, the two of you, to be in the house. And you have to spice it up. If there's a particular food you have to eat to improve your sexual life, eat it. And somebody said a man who was always asking for sugar and for salt, as this man is not performing in bed, one day he asked for the wife to give him salt. He said, "Hey babe, kwajo papa, Pedro na nchini enye drowati me can't roll." Just to say that, ask for medicine that will improve your sexual life, because salt is not medicine. So a word to the wise is enough. Spice up your marriages, improve your sexual styles, and your husbands will love you, your wives will also love you. Thank you very much.
So says a woman who's been married for 31 years, and she says she's not tired.
I'm never tired. I'm still on my feet.
Linda, in conclusion.
In conclusion, I would say that especially the young ones, don't lose guard.
Hey.
You know, don't behave like you are the old Dick's Bible. You know the Bible, the big one. That when you want to go to Matthew, you need to open. Sometimes you need to put a little saliva on the hand. Open. You need to be like a digital Bible on the digital phone. You see, when you are you understand. You know, yeah. You should get the signals.
Okay, I understand.
Don't wait. You don't understand. Don't wait to be, as it were, you have to be talked to, do this. Just understand the way the wind is blowing, and then dance to the tune. Okay. And be creative. You see, when you having sex, you should involve your whole body. And I always say, I use a lot of examples, like when we go to church, you don't just start and then the word of God is coming. There is an opening prayer where we thank God. That's the foreplay. You need to say things. At least there is one thing about your husband or your wife that you like most. Tell him, "Oh, I love that style. I love that dress that you wore last night." You see, and that is where you come from. And then we graduate to praises. Praise him for helping you take care of the kids. Worship. What do we do?
What if he doesn't help you take care of the kids?
Sometimes, what if he does?
Okay.
Find something else. You see, one thing we also have to note is that we have to make positive out of any negative situation around us. Paul says that turning every opportunity, making best of every opportunity that we have, because the days are evil. That is when the Bible was written. If the days were evil then what about today? The days are evil. You have to be smart.
Now the days are devilish.
They are devilish.
Satanic.
So you need to make the best out of every opportunity. When you're having sex, it shouldn't be one position. You need to write your name.
Yes, I was told that. This woman told me,
and
one evening, that I should go and write my name.
Yes.
And make sure that the I in my name, I should
you have
put
to
a dot
it
on it.
You see, you don't have to lie there and say, come and chop and go, or like we say in tree, no, you need to get involved. Give him the styles. When he moves to the left, you meet at the right. You see, you roll him from head to toe. And when the thing is going well, you need to communicate to him or her. That's nice. I love it this way. Take your hand here. We are talking about sex in marriage.
Yes.
Yes. So you need to talk. It's nice. I'm enjoying it. Take it here. Move the hands to the places. You know, we have keys. When you sit in a car and you don't, apply the keys or use the keys, the car won't move. Maybe there is a new technology that is about to come, but it doesn't push it. You have to push it.
Or you have to press start.
So there are keys in the human body. You need to know where the keys are. And please, if you know you aren't going to drive, don't move the keys.
Lead me hanging dry, right?
Yes. So for some women, the keys are the breast. And Proverbs says it, that a loving doe, a graceful deer, let her breast satisfy you. I'm quoting the Bible. So it is in the Bible. And Solomon makes it so nice. He says, how beautiful you look, my darling. Your neck describes the neck, the breast, the hips. You know, talk about these things and it takes the shame away. And it helps you to enjoy the sex. Sex must be enjoyed. Like I said from the beginning, it is food. It must be enjoyed. However,
and must be satisfying.
It must be satisfying when you do it well.
Yeah.
When you do it well, it must be satisfying. However, there are little things that, if you don't take care, will take this joy out of. When in the marriage situation where we don't have the opportunity to freely talk about our fears, the ups and the downs, you are always afraid that when you failed, when you speak about it, how is he going to take it? How is she going to take it? I didn't do well here. But when that thing is removed, like where everybody feels free to talk about whatever is in your mind, whether it's nonsense, excuse me for this language, but it is, you are free to air your views. Give your opinion about issues. When you are able to do that, all the barriers that hinders a good sex is removed.
Right.
And then you go into it with a clean sheet.
Right.
And you are able to enjoy it well. But if you have bits and bitterness and unsettled issues always in your heart. So I tell my husband one day that, look, I think this is what is going to be helpful to us. Let's have a family or a communication skill that is free from prejudice. Where you are tagged, let's say there are things that happen. In a family, you've been looking for a child for quite a long time. After 5 years of marriage, and you get pregnant, and you have a miscarriage, and you come home, and your husband is like, hey, you kind of menti. That's what happens in the family. What do you think the woman is going to feel? How is she going to feel? Right. The next evening, if you want to have sex with her, you see? Yeah. So let us have a forum or a communication way flowing where we feel free to talk about issues, but then we consider how it's going to settle with Ohineyere or it's going to settle with Nana. It's very important so that we can enjoy sex, so that you can get all the benefits. You look, even though you are aging, like Auntie Gloria is here, she's been Auntie Vic, sorry, she's been married for the past 31 years, but she's looking so sweet.
Yeah.
I've been married for 15 years. 15 years. The sex, I enjoy it.
You look like 30 years.
I know.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Wow.
It's good.
Right.
It makes you, keeps you younger
Right.
and younger. No Tunisia,
Okay.
Cambodia, Nkwa.
No Tunisia, Cambodia, I like that one. Oh, Lord. Anita, finally.
Okay. Okay. Well, I want to say that you know, like we've discussed, you know, sex is important. I think we've gotten the point. Yeah. So, you know, if you're having issues, we're saying find a way of working it out. You know, we know it's not easy, but having assumed we've done all of that, you know, sex should be fun. Okay. So for me, you said it's visual arts. So it means for me, I think foreplay plays a very key role. If you do good foreplay, you realize climax may not, you know, it's a lot more enjoyable. It may not even it take you too long if you're like, you know, I'm tired and you're just trying to be pleasing your partner, whether man or woman. So I think I would say that as a married woman, you need to, you know, look into how to keep the relationship spicing up. And this does not require some whole long, you know, some over-the-top behavior. It's about being creative with your mind. Even this yogurt, sitting here.
Yeah. You can do things.
You know, we can do things. If we're off air and we began to say, what can we do with this yogurt? I mean, we can go over 100 things we can think of using this yogurt to spice it up in the bedroom, right? So that doesn't take a lot. It can be yogurt. You know, it can be fruits. All right, are you getting me? Yeah. It's all about using your imagination. I mean, they've talked about the positions, and I'm sure somebody's watching thinking, I don't know any positions, and maybe we're thinking, I can't be bothered, or I'm not sure what to do. There are lots of different ways you can introduce positions into the bedroom with your husband. Yeah. You know, there are position dice. Yeah. You throw the dice, the position that comes is what you're going to do. Then you throw a location. The location could be in the car, in the bedroom, in wherever it says the two of you have to go and do it. That's a way of spicing it up, right?
And you have these in your shop?
I have these.
Chai!
You feel like you don't want to be wasting time, because marriage is about, you know, all the biblical stuff is true, but when we get in the bedroom, this is not time to be quoting Bible. We're there to have fun because it's our legal right.
Right.
You understand? So we need to be looking at things to make us have fun. So if you can't be, now we're going to pick a book and open it, or log on, the internet is not working to find position. My friend, just throw the dice. Are you getting me? That's also there. There are other things. There are you can please, women, if you want your husband to be looking at you in a sexy way, are you getting me? Stop it. Stop doing things that, because men are visual. I mean, let's be honest, they are visual. So you want him to see you instead of, you've got to minimize. I know we all have to be comfortable at home, but we must be conscious that sometimes, you know, the way some of the things in our comfort zones can be a bit off-putting.
Alice, I know this is a women's program. We are talking about women, but aren't we putting too much pressure on the women?
Because it may seem that we're putting pressure on the women, but actually the omnes, it does unfortunately unfairly sit a lot with us. We're not saying the men shouldn't do their part. Right. Are you getting me? Yeah. We're not saying it, but we know it doesn't. You know, most men, it doesn't take a lot to kind of get them going, but they are affected by some of these things. Right. And we're saying that you're trying to keep the spice in your marriage, and I know it seems it's on us because we carry a lot of responsibility. The children, the home, some of us are working and so on. So a lot of the time, we are, you know, then we have to come home and now do performance, you know, bedmatics, you know. So you know, and when we are tired, we are tired. You know, we're not all sitting here claiming that we are we do have moments you're tired, but we're saying that, you know, when we say we're tired, it's difficult for your husband, you know, any loving husband will find it hard to kind of just force you into, you know, and also it's not enjoyable when someone is forcing you to have sex. Yeah. You want to see that there's an exchange. So that's why it seems like it's on us a lot, but we're not saying the men shouldn't do their part. It's just because we're talking to women. We're coming from a women's perspective. So I'm just saying, come out of things, you know, why are you walking around in those big pants? Those big pants may be fine when your red sister visits you. But you can walk around, even if you're not into thongs, into panties that are, men are visual. Just intentionally drop something, be picking things up. Are you getting me? If make time to have dates, make time to spend time together. Set his mind from the morning. Say something. Today, I'm going to do you some. What does that mean? All day, just be. I get me. Now we've got text messages. There's so many ways you can set the scene, and there's lots of things you can bring into the bedroom to have fun with. You just need to find your level. What works for you and your partner. But I don't think now we just need to be thinking about missionary positions and wham bam thinking. I think you can have a lot of fun in the bedroom if this is a family show. There's only so much we can say, but there's things to do to spice up your marriage, and I think it should be important to you to want to spice up your marriage, and you just need to find out, how can I do that with me and my partner that is going to work. But I just want to end by saying that sex is important. It is the glue to your marriage. If for whatever reason it hasn't gone well, you just need to find a starting point to get there, and it just starts with a conversation, going back to where it all began. But sex is important in marriage.
Take me back. Take me back, dear Lord, to where it all began. Okay. This is a program and a half. A lot to take in, but thank you very much.
I didn't know I could bring stuff.
You could have, but anyway, we'll have it right.
I think you should have a show where different people come on how to really, have fun and the things to do, because it's a problem.
We will. Well, to show appreciation, we have something from Wilma, Africa. We just have some small packet for you to cook a meal. I know Valentine's Day is just about 12 days away. And so, but this is pre-Valentine cooking.
Nice.
Yeah.
And now
just
my bag. What can I do with it?
Valentine's Day is your birthday?
Yes.
Oh, no wonder. Child. No wonder. Thank you so much. We are grateful. Thank you, Wesley Girls 97-year group, for coming. Thank you, Mr. Mante. Thank you, audience. And we take a break. When we come back, I give you a bit of me.
Please, we are from Kiros Cakes by EKGS Ghana, and we are here to celebrate our beautiful, God-fearing, and energetic mommy, our Henry Gifty auntie. Mommy, we are wishing you all the very best in life. So we are here to give you this beautiful cake.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I guess it's supposed to be my birthday cake, right?
Yes, please.
Happy
so it's a belated birthday cake for you.
Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. And 2 cakes?
Yes, mommy.
Okay.
There are 2 different cakes altogether.
Okay, so this one.
Dessert cake. Wow. And we have to mommy. Princess will join mommy to cut
the cake. Okay. They will all join me for us to cut the cake. Okay, so we are cutting the cake. Hold it. Hold it. Yeah. Thank you very much, and thank you so much to EKGS. I mean, I'm just grateful. During my 2nd wedding anniversary, and the Nyonyams adoring, the princess adoring too. They brought us 2 cakes as well.
You can call us.
All right, thank you. So thank you very much. We do appreciate it. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Victoria, and thank you, Gay 97-year group, and everybody who came to be a part of this. Viewers, we'll see you same time next week. Bye for now.